Hey guys, welcome back to the Pure Goddess channel. My name is Gwenley. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. It is Tuesday, November 4th. It's been a busy day today. Oops. It's been a busy day. The energy is less denser today. These past few weeks have been very very much like energetically like pressure, and thankfully today is a lighter day. For a lot of people. A lot of people in my community. It's crazy how when us as human beings, as individuals, as soul beings, as the force and the power within that we each have, how powerful we could influence people in a powerful way to open them up and speak from the soul, from the heart. You know, when it has to do with you will succeed whenever you put your heart into something, your soul into something. When it has to do with people, for the people, the community, you will succeed. You know, having humility, being humble, having the strength within, being that protector, that guide, you know, for a man and woman, having both feminine and masculine energies balanced is, you know, it's healthy. Everyone has their masculine and feminine energy, no matter if you're a man or a woman. And when you have that balanced out, and you are for the people and for humanity and for, you know, justice and equal rights, and you're humble, you have good heart, you live your life wearing your heart on your sleeve. You know, you have good intentions, you do things with good intentions. You just don't talk the talk, but you walk the talk. Is that how you say it? You know, it's like what you preach, you do as well. And it's not about perfectionism. Yes, it's about being a role model, but we are human and we make mistakes. You know, we are not perfect, not every day. We are human beings, right? And lately I've been paying attention to two individuals who are very vocal in the community, and I've seen these past few days how they've actually started speaking from their heart and their soul, and not that they weren't before, but it is just more real and more deep. And you know, it's like, how would I explain it? Very being very authentic and real with themselves as well, right? The only way to move forward in life is by feeling everything, all the emotions, if it's pain, sorrow, anger, happiness, emptiness, fulfillment, hurt, right? The faster or the more we open up ourselves to experience these things, you know, not that people will hurt us, but you know, if you get triggered, if someone says something and it triggers you or opens an old wound, you know, that needs healing, and it's so important to face it right away, you know. The faster you deal with things like this, you know, the faster you're able to heal and be more authentic and be yourself, be you know, for yourself and for others. A lot of people have good intentions, but you know, a lot of people also have like blocked areas within them that make them appear materialistic, or whatever it is. They're there for attention or whatever it is, right? And it's so important to, especially in these times, to carry humility and grace and patience and understanding, even when you are in the unknown with somebody or an environment, or you know, when, you know, when we're being attacked, or you know, whatever it is, it's important to really humble ourselves and put ourselves in the shoes of others, or try our best to. A lot of people are afraid of being unknown. And a lot of people at this time are in the unknown, who have been affected by what's going on here in the community. And you know, it's important for everyone to be a role model, you know, and to live in our purpose, but being a role model for those who are in need of guidance, and you know, psychologically, it could trigger a lot of people, especially in these times. It triggers practically everyone in different ways. And I feel very happy. You know, I watch lives, and I, you know, of the people who are standing up for the people that can't stand up for themselves at this time because of fear, because of the injustice that's being done to them, to us, to our people, you know, and every day that goes by, I'm so thankful that people are speaking of the Lord, speaking of God, of Jesus Christ, of prayer, being humble and thankful, and having gratitude for every day. And people are opening their hearts and expressing their experiences of when something similar happened to them, and it's uniting everyone slowly. And it's just a very beautiful thing that's going on, and this is what the Lord wants. Just like our father and our mother on this earth, when we were kids, or when we were adolescent, we would have to get disciplined by our parents, right? And as a parent, it's not fun to discipline our kids sometimes, but it needs to be done, right? And this is what the Lord is doing all over the world. And sometimes, you know, most of the time it's unfair, because there's helpless beings, there is beings, you know, humans that are affected by this, and it's not fair, it's not just, it's not legal. You know, it's not humane. But it has to be a very big impact to affect everyone. And this is the type of stuff that happens worldly, even if it's a natural disaster, you know, like the fires in California earlier in the beginning of this year. That was very impactful for the people, obviously, who went through it, the people who lived in that state, who live in that state. But, you know, the Lord brings justice, and the Lord will, we have to pass through the storm. We have to be in the storm and go through the storm, and this is where we gain our armor to become a warrior, to become strong, to become, you know, it's like a test, right? One of the ultimate tests as human beings, you know, no matter where in the world you are you going to choose to be selfish and worry about yourself? Are you going to choose, you know, like good or bad? And, you know, God is testing our hearts individually. It doesn't matter if you are helping, like physically helping, mentally, emotionally, if you're, you know, praying, you know, in your home, taking care of your family, yourself, but you're there for the people, with the people, in a sense where you're praying and you're, you know, your heart is in a good place. You know, you're not wishing ill or bad on others because of skin color, of legal status, or status in general, you know, or state or city or whatever it is, right? Occupation. You know, it's important to look at the bigger picture and to see, you know, God is real, and to see what is God's bigger plan in this, you know. And we're all gonna have our ups and downs, waves, right? Feeling resentment, being angry, being sad, being depressed, crying, having sorrow. Why is this happening to us, you know? Why is this so unjust? You know, it's not fair, it's not right. Very painful feelings, and feeling like we can't do anything. But also, you know, those are bad days for humanity, for the people. And there's so many horrible things going on in this world, you know. And then we have better days where we're thankful and grateful, and, you know, we have gratitude for food on our table, for a roof over our head, for a warm home, you know, for a vehicle, for a full tank of gas, being able to be healthy. You know, our health is so important. And a lot of people are just more grateful in this world, and there is a lot of people that are very, very ungrateful as well, right? But humanity is more and more, humanity's frequency is raising higher and higher. And I don't know if you guys can see that or feel that, but it's a beautiful thing. There's less and less of these evil people. And oof. You know, it's definitely a shock. It's a shock because there's so much change going on, and there's no time to contemplate. There's no time to sit around anymore. We gotta do the work and put the work in within ourselves and start healing and start changing that fear that we've always had our whole lives, all of our lives. It's time to get out of that, you know, and it's understanding, you know, generations before you, that, you know, fears and worries and lack of, and you know, so many things, alcoholism and drug addictions and being addicted to whatever it is, lust, I can't think of the words exactly, but things that each generation carries, right? And if your parents don't heal that, then you're gonna carry that. It's gonna carry on to the next generation. So it's important. It's important. You know, we don't have time. You know, we don't have time to be lazy. We have to heal and be stronger and believe and have faith, and, you know, that we could overcome this. Every individual has their own path, and where do I even start? The world, you know, it's expanding. There's no more, you know, like lower, I need to get going, you guys. It's been raining all day. There's no more room for lower frequency levels, or, you know, things like being materialistic, you know, and just, Lord have mercy, I can't I can't recall the specific words exactly, but Earth is in order to have this new Earth, in order to the universe to take its course, to start its Mother Earth has started already. The planet has already been working on us energetically, right? I'm not too familiar with the terms when I speak about, you know, the 5D and the 3D, but I understand. And I'm also trying to my vocabulary in when it has to do with like the Schumann resonance, which is the Earth's energy, has to do with I can't explain. So lately the energy, the frequency has been super heavy, like to the max. The frequency, the energy, in an earthly or vibrational, worldly, planetary way has been super heavy. So it's like putting pressure in our lives to take out all that low vibrational, to heal. Healing, it increases it, you know, like healing within makes you have a higher frequency, higher energy. I need to do more studying on that to educate myself, but so I could explain to you guys in a better way, in a more easier way and easier terms. But yeah. I saw a couple today at the store, and it's not people I personally know or anything. But you know, there's people that are popular and this and that in like society, right? I don't know how, because I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about popularity. I don't care about, you know, like I'm important and I'm this and I'm that. So, you know, like I could care less. And people act like their shit doesn't stink. You know, they think like they're the shit, you know, and good for them if you have that confidence, right? But don't act like, you know, be humble. And you know, it's really gross. Like for me personally, it's gross seeing people who think they're all that. I don't know for what reason. It doesn't matter who you are, But as a person, it's important to be humble and have humility and have respect and kind to everyone. You know, people like this have a lot of insecurities, and they come from all walks of life. It doesn't matter if you come from a wealthy family or you have good looks. That it doesn't matter. You know, what's important is how you treat people, how educated you are, and that doesn't matter. In a few years, it's not gonna matter. You waste so much money going to school, and this is my personal opinion and my truth. You know, everyone has their own mission in life and carries that, and some people want to have an education and be educated, and that's important to them and good for you, you know. But there's a 444 on the license plate. It's so important to carry humility and grace and understanding, even though you are in the unknown. You don't know their situation, their life story. You don't know why they chose this path. You don't know why that's important to them. You know, everyone has their own story. So when I see people like that, I'm just like, I turn my head like, I just don't get it, right? Because I have a good heart. I have a pure heart. I don't like to judge people. We're not all perfect, but I don't have time for judgment of others. I don't have time to be critiquing others or trying to put myself in their shoes in a way that will make me talk bad about someone or envy someone or carry jealousy towards someone. Like, who has time for that, you know? It's truly a waste of time. And yes, there is people who provoke. You know, obviously there's so many people who provoke, who make themselves, who carry that energy of like, they, you know, they worked hard for their stuff materialistically, most cases, or successful by getting educated or having years of experience in the fields, right? But that doesn't mean anything. You know, like, if you can't treat people fairly, that says a lot about your inner self. My son had a teacher who, you know, she has some stories to tell, right? She's gone through it. She's been through it. She's worked hard for her education, and she had her own in-home, you know, preschool daycare business, and, you know, she wants to live a lifestyle of luxury, and, you know, that's all okay. You know, you worked hard for your stuff. You should be able to buy anything for yourself, right? Or have the lifestyle that you want. And I didn't mind that. I didn't care for that, you know. It's just, as long as my son is well taken care of, there's no issues with communication, whatever parents believe and feel that their child is being taken care of, right? Each parent has their own beliefs and points and boundaries. So, you know, everything was all right. And there was, you know, it started becoming, you know, some people just, they could have it all, you know, but they still need to work on themselves within. They still need to do some healing, and we're not all perfect. We always will have healing to do in our lives, but some people think that being materialistically wealthy or well off, or, you know, having brand, whatever, you know, having the best vehicle or luxury vehicle, wearing luxury brands, whatever it is, being in a certain high society or friends and whatever, right? They're gonna become perfect. These are people who are looking for perfectionism, you know, like a lot of healing has to be done with people like this. And I was having issues with this person because this individual was making me, you know, because I have this, I have that. It's like I have all these luxury materialistic possessions, and myself, I am a single parent who works hard for her money, and, you know, I take care of my son and I live life like just simple, right? Because I don't have a successful job, I don't make a lot, but I'm happy and content, right? I should feel jealousy and envy towards this person. This is how I guess I should see her, as someone who has it all, and then me being like a simple person, I should be envious and jealous. You know, like people carry an energy that they throw at you, and they want to like flip it on you. And this is an energy that a lot of people who are this way, they think they're better than you for these reasons, right? And when they don't get to you, when they don't they already feel. Because there's people that carry heavy energy, big energy, and because they're themselves. They accept themselves, they're authentic, they're real, they're truthful, they're full of love. When people like this come into our lives, they try to minimize us. They try to make us feel like, energetically throw us a few steps down so they feel superior, right? And it doesn't work like that. But that is the reason why. And there's so many people like this, you know? I've connected my iPad with my phone, and it's so much easier. I don't have to cut the video, but I get phone calls on there, and my son sometimes answers them, and he's watching something or doing something on the tablet. And today there was a assistant director for my son's new school who calls, you know, to reschedule. And you know, I was doing something on my phone and he answers on the iPad, and he starts yelling because he got so upset. He, you know, like he got interrupted. And and that was not okay. That was not okay. In the past few nights, I have not been able to sleep. It's been energetically, it's just heavy energy, purging energy. You know, and it's not fun. The spiritual world is really active at this time. We have a full moon, I think tonight or tomorrow night. So that bumps it up. The energy, it affects our emotional state, mental. It affects our sleep sometimes. Mercury retrograde, it affects us in not a negative way, but we can, you know, get triggered at this time. I'm not sure if it's almost the end of Mercury retrograde, but I think it's almost towards the end. So there's still residual a few days, you know, like 5 days after, which brings a lot of things to the surface within ourselves and our relationships and environments and things like this, that we have to push out. You know, everything has to do with healing and trying to be in a higher frequency, vibing higher. You know, there's things that society or generationally customs that are normal that we do, and it's not so high vibrational, you know, like drinking and partying and partying and talking, gossiping, you know, talking about others. These things are not of high vibration, you know. And the more aware that we become, the easier it will be to, I say, to notify ourselves that it's not okay, you know. And the more aware we become in whatever area of your life where you want to better yourself, you will see the difference when you do something and when you don't, you know. For example, drinking. If you drink for fun, you know, you're gonna notice your vibration, you know, and things like that affects you days after, hours after, you know. It lowers your vibration, and you don't feel like your highest self, your authentic self, you know. You don't feel so happy and energetic, and obviously it takes a toll on the body, but it really messes with you. And the older you get, the more it takes for you to balance yourself to be yourself again, you know, like in a healthy way. Because having, like, I don't even know the words, it's been a while since I drank, like having a hangover, you will need to either eat certain types of food, you know, hydration, lots of rest, you know, things like this that will help your body to, you know, element yourself back up. But yeah, that's an example. And celibacy is really another thing that is important. You know, and the more I am on the journey. Oh, all right, guys, I'm gonna cut the video. You guys have a good night.